there, I'm Jones, and I am a vegetarian mom, and I also happen to be an archaeologist. Being an archaeologist is a lot of fun, but it does require a lot of traveling, and if you're vegetarian, you know that when you travel, it can be really hard to eat healthy and find good vegetarian food. My job currently takes me away from home for 9 days at a time. So 18 days out of the month I am living in a hotel. Now the hotel I stay in has a microwave and a small refrigerator and a grill out on the back patio. So I am able to prepare some meals, but I'm trying to get really creative with doing some meal prepping and creating some things that I can prepare really easily in the hotel room. Because after a long day of doing archaeology in what is really hot weather and really rugged terrain, I am totally exhausted at the end of the day, and I don't want to have to spend a lot of time figuring out what to eat, and there's not a lot I can make, but I don't want to rely on convenience foods either. They can be full of fat and sodium and extra calories that I really don't want. I am trying to eat healthier and lose some weight because I've had some cholesterol issues since I was a teenager, and I don't want to have to rely on medication, so I'm just trying to be as healthy as possible. And my job keeps me fit. Like I said, I'm hiking around all day and I burn a lot of calories, but at the end of the day I want to make sure that I'm getting the proper amount of nutrition and the proper amount of calories to keep me going and to lose weight safely. I hope you will join me on my adventures. I'm going to be visiting some different places in Colorado and cooking some great food and sharing some great recipes and meal tips with you that will be vegetarian, family friendly, travel friendly, etc. And it's going to be a lot of fun, and I hope you will join me by becoming a subscriber and giving this video a thumbs up if you like it. Today we're making stuffed peppers, vegetarian style of course. My partner Jack and I came up with this recipe because we wanted a vegetarian version of his favorite dish, stuffed peppers. So this is using some organic bell peppers I got at the farmer's market. And you want to start off by roasting your peppers. We put these in a dish with just a tiny bit of water in the bottom and roasted them about 350 degrees for about 20 minutes, and then you want to flip them over and roast the other side until they're just starting to get tender. And you want to put some rice on to cook right away so it's ready to go when you need it. And here I am chopping some veggies. I used onions and the tops of the peppers, and just give them a good chop. I also roasted some corn in the husk, and now I am just shaving it off the cob, and this is a really great way to get some fresh corn into your recipe. And this is some olive oil in a pan. I know my pan looks a little dirty, but it's just stained and old. It's clean. And here I am sauteing the onions. I add a little bit of salt and a little more oil. And you just want to saute those until the onions started getting tender and translucent. And here are some roasted chili peppers that I got at the farmer's market as well. And we had a debate over whether to keep the seeds in or not, but they're pretty mild peppers, so I decided to go ahead and leave them in there. And in the end, you couldn't even tell that they were there. And just add those to the veggies. Give it a good stir. And then I added some black beans, organic black beans from a can that I rinsed, and then some organic stewed tomatoes, and I added about a teaspoon of cumin and a tablespoon of chili powder, and give that a good stir. Mix it all up real good and just let that cook for, I don't know, 5 minutes. And then I added the rice, and here I'm using white rice. I prefer brown rice, and I do use brown rice a lot, but my family tends to like white rice, so that's just what I used this time. I have some refried beans and some cheese, and we always put cheese in the bottom because, you know, it's no fun when you have only cheese on top and you get down to the bottom and you're like, where's the cheese? So we put it in the bottom, and then add some of these organic black refried beans. When I cook my refried beans, I always put a little bit of oil in the pan and put a clove of chopped garlic in there, and it really adds a lot of flavor to the beans. And then you might need to add a little bit of water to get the beans to the consistency you want. And here I am putting the stuffing in. I made a lot of stuffing, way more than was really needed. You could make 6 or 8 peppers out of this amount of stuffing, but we do like to put it down the sides. And then I had plenty left over to pack up and take with me on the road. And I made 2 burritos out of this. Burritos on 2 different nights out of the filling. Putting the cheese on top, and this is what it looks like before going into the oven. I didn't get a really good shot of it coming out of the oven, and here I am putting those leftovers into an airtight container for the road. And here I am on the road, and we have a hitchhiker. Hello, little fella. Hang on. And here I am with my water bottle and my backpack, all ready to hike up that hill. And here I am going up the hill. This video was pretty long. It took several minutes to get to the top, and it's a pretty rough hike, so I did cut some out, but this gives you a good idea of the terrain that I'm walking on and all the prickly cactus and things that are out there, and we have to constantly be on guard for snakes, although that hasn't really been an issue so far. One day we had a couple of snakes. And here we are at the top, and what a view. I can see Kansas from here. And this is my hard-earned lunch. I had a mixture of organic peanut butter and almond butter and berry jelly on a whole wheat bagel and some apple slices with some more almond butter. And it was super tasty and very filling. And here is sunset over Trinidad from the back of my hotel. You can see the Spanish peaks there in the distance, and it was just a really gorgeous night. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for coming along on an adventure with me. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe. You can write some comments if you want, if you have anything that you want me to talk about, vegetarianism or archaeology or being a mom, and put your comments down below. And I hope to hear from you and see you next time.